Essential oils, do they help with connecting? Let's ask my guardian angel that question and see what answer we get. Do essential oils help with connecting with spirit? Yes, in a way. They are used to either stimulate you, stimulate the mind, stimulate your senses, or they can also be used to help your mind relax and be more at ease, more at peace. People use oils in their baths. They use oils in massage oil. They'll add a little bit of scent to that. She's like, you crack me up. And then, of course, we have just essential oils that we may use as a body perfume, or we may put it, on a little dab on the pillowcase, etc. And she's showing me like lavender, for example. That would help to relax the mind. And the mind being relaxed, as you have well guessed now, since taking this course for 4 days. You're hilarious. 4 days is that when the mind is relaxed, when the mind is at peace, when the mind is still, and practicing these efforts to relax and still the mind, this is when you will be able to communicate more fluidly and more readily with spirit. So yes, essential oils do help in the communication with spirit. Okay. What oils would you, it's any oils that are going to relax your mind. I already know what she's going to say, because she's already said lavender. Any other oils? Just like they talk about pink rose quartz crystals being the number one that they want us to use. And we're talking about, a nice big piece of it, like the size of your palm. So it has some good energy in it, a lot of energy in it, and rough cut, not polished. Okay. We want the rough cut. You can hold up a, polished crystal or a rough cut any day of the week. The rough cut's going to blow it out of the water. I've done it many times. The rough cut has more punch to it. It hasn't been altered or messed with. So that's the number one type of crystal the angels recommend. Right now she's talking about lavender essential oil. Okay. When your loved ones come to visit you, how do you know when they're visiting you? How do you know when your loved ones are in the room with you? You get songs in your mind when you have a loved one in the room with you. You feel them, you just recognize them. You feel their energy up against your body. Oh, I love that. The sound of music. That's what you hear from your grandmother. I love that. You instantly think about them. Why do we instantly think about them? Could it possibly be that they're projecting themselves into your mind telepathically and you don't even know you're having telepathic communication? Could it possibly be that you're channeling all the time, but you just don't recognize that you are? I think so. Oh, and yeah, seeing them out of the corner of your eye, or that can even be like a shadow, or it can be like a little sparkle or an orb trail. Oh, how cute is that? Your grandma plays with your left ear. You can sense the energy or a smell. I actually had a lady who's a good friend of mine, And I said to her, do you smell irises? And she's like, yeah. And we were talking about her mom at the time. She goes, my mom's favorite flower was an iris. I said, I think she's here with us. And I started to channel her mom. And as soon as her mom left, the smell left like that. It was gone. It was really wild. Yeah, cigarette smoke is another thing that I would smell with my great aunt. She loves cigarettes and scotch. And she never had children. And she was a nurse. And I remember her saying back then being a nurse was the amount of work of like 3 nurses do today. Like it was hardcore. And the most fascinating part of it is she was wealthy. She was so wealthy, but she still worked really hard as a nurse, which just dumbfounded me. I was like, wow. I remember her taking off to Hawaii to go work for a few years as a nurse. I was like, how cool is that? So I want to ask a few questions. How do you know when spirit is around you and they want to communicate with you? What are some of the signs? Good, Jim. Good. You cuddle up to that rose quartz. It'll help to settle us. You know, when the mind goes and you got a lot of worry and a lot of fear and fragmented thoughts, what does that tell me? Number 1, ground yourself. Ground your energy. When you're at peace and you have more stillness in your mind and you become more of the still observer of the thoughts that are popping up in your mind, and you start handing off the thoughts that you don't like to your team of angels to transmute into the light, this would tell me that you're very grounded. So when energy is around and it wants to communicate with you, you'll feel it in your chakra centers. You'll feel a lot of pressure, warmth, expansion of your chakras. You might feel expansion of your crown chakra on the top of your head, or expansion here, expansion here. That's another part, okay? You may find, I'll do this all the time. So when I have a guardian angel coming through to channel through someone, I just start wanting to laugh because they're laughing and their energy's flooding through me. And I'm like, or if they become really serious and they want to talk about something, I become very serious. But I'm just allowing that in the moment because I know it's important to relay the message as accurately as I possibly can. Ear ringing. And ear ringing can come with communication. The second sign on top of ear ringing is tingling down or itchiness down your ear canal. You definitely know that someone's talking into your ear. So there's energy, putting energy into your ear canal for you to then hear the message through the energy. Energy is information, and information is being relayed to you. Ear pressure. A lot of us will get pressure right down into the eardrum even. It's like, oof. Ear muffing, cupping. Oh, both my ears have I can hear, but I can't hear very good. It's like completely muffled out. They're getting your attention. When I have ear ringing or a stillness on the side of the head, that tells me I have an angel there. It's always an angel, usually. If I have ear cupping, it's usually a soul. It can be an ascended master. Usually the angels don't cup my ears. It's usually a soul trying to get my attention, but never say never. Temperature shifts. All of a sudden it kind of gets cold in the room. Other ways is like they're trying to communicate and they're expanding their energy, letting me know that they're there, but it's a bit overwhelming for me. So then I get a little lightheaded. Oh boy. And then immediately when I'm feeling like this, I ask them to step back because they don't understand that Well, I have to tell them. I mean, it's my body. Too strong. Could you dial it down a little bit? Thank you. And they do. They'll do it immediately. Ear popping. That's a good question. I've never been asked. What do you think about ear popping, Agnes? She's teasing you, Christy. She's like this. Hey, hey. She's doing that. Hey, I'm here. It's cute. It can be, but it can also be the eardrum adjusting itself. You have to look at, have you just placed your ears into water, right? So you might have water in the ear canal. Usually I would look for ringing, itchiness. If you got the popping and the itchiness, likely communication. Pressure right here with your ear chakras plus the itchy tingling, likely spirit communicating with me. In your mind is fine. I used to be like, I'm not talking to them out loud. Now I talk out loud to them all the time. I used to only communicate with them in my mind. But now I'm like, blue, 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 in my mind, out of my mind, on a piece of paper, whichever way you want to do it. Mm-hmm. And that wouldn't surprise me if spirit could do repetitive tapping on your eardrum. I mean, they can go right into your ear. They can get right around your eardrum. It wouldn't shock me if they started to do an SOS or some kind of tapping. Not surprised at all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But you know, Timothy, if that's something that is like, okay, more tapping, got it. And you know that they can come and communicate with you directly, then you need to be like, listen, you can cut it out with the tapping, okay? I got it. If I have spirit tapping on stuff all the time, oh, they would be having an earful from me. I remember asking my angels to pull me out of sleep state around my alarm clock because I was really tired each morning. And they pulled me out of my sleep in 1 second. And it was so uncomfortable to get pulled out of my sleep that fast. So please pull me out of my sleep around my alarm clock slower so it's more comfortable for me. And then as soon as I asked that, it was fine. You know, I don't actually look at or care to know which of my chakras are blocked. What's most important is that from time to time, especially after you've had some stressful events or trauma in your life, that you ask for your angels to replace the chakras that need replacing. Put it in their hands, let them look them up and down, let them have a good look at your energy centers, and then replace the ones that need to be replaced. That way I'm not like, which of my chakras are blocked? And you know what I mean? You know, you see a lot of people online like that. I don't think my chakras are spiraling in the right direction. Just give it to your team to take care of, and then lay down quietly, and you will feel them getting pulled out. You'll know which ones were blocked or needed replacing, because when you're laying there quietly, you will feel which ones are getting pulled out and replaced. Charging crystals, a lot of people like to put them in water. I don't recommend salt water because you don't want to ruin the crystal. Under the moonlight, okay? Or you can just ask your angels to charge your crystals. Most people don't think about doing that. Archangel Michael, could you charge my crystals? Thank you. Personally, this is me. I just go for a fresh new one because I'll drain that crystal in 2 to 3 months. If I'm putting it on my lap all the time, I just go get a nice new one. That's how I do it because I want the most amount of energy possible. Right. So if you have 3 knocks, the first thing you're going to ask is, who is this? And then you can see if you get what you get. Also, you're going to be like, hey, Archangel Michael, I don't care to have these knocks through the night. Can you please take care of that? Thank you. And then you can sit quietly and write it down on a piece of paper, who it is. Also, in that moment, you could pull out your deck of angel cards and you could let the angels talk through the cards. Oh, big time. Yep. 100%. 100%. When you have this amount of energy pulsating through your body, it can heat you up, can fire off your chakra centers. It's nausea, lightheadedness. It's unbelievable. Yeah. They like to play with the hair, just like Lorna Burns' book, Angels in My Hair. And Lorna has seen angels her entire life. Isn't that cool? Okay. So here's another question for you. How do you know when spirit is right on you, right? We've talked about that, communicating with you, a lot of pressure. Okay, they're still talking. I know they're still talking because I'm getting pressure on my chakra centers. How do you know when spirit's done talking to you? Oh, Tracy, that's awesome. That's a great book, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's right, Timothy. They step back. And how do you know when they step back? Yep, silence. But what we're really looking for, the pressure, the warmth is subsiding. It's backing away from me. Or the energy is flat, stagnant. How